What's the name? What's the name? What's the name? What's the name? What's the name?
Uh,
What's the name? What's the name? What's the name?
why don't I know Matt
He
Hughes?
he was in the Expendables
Randy Couture.
tour. Okay, how they did Randy Couture with Brock Lesnar. Say, hey, Brock, Randy Couture is over here telling us that he might just leave and pull a WCW WWE stunt. How about you just go ahead and make sure you beat him? Just make sure you beat him. He's talking about getting out of his contract and heading over to Strikeforce and doing whatever he wants. How about you just beat the shit out of him real quick? And it's like, oh, okay, well, I'm bigger than him and more in shape than he is. Let me just go ahead and dust him off real quick. And
Yeah.
pretty much. And I mean, you can almost see. I mean, you look at the bracket, like it's kind of weird. Like, for instance, Fedor's only challenge, if you looked at his side of the bracket, was fucking Rampage. Really?
Yeah, and he
Rampage?
got he got past him fairly quickly.
No, he didn't. He didn't fight Rampage. Rampage lost to Chael Sonnen.
Oh, what? Hold on.
Yeah,
Yes,
Rampage
yes.
lost to
Yeah,
Chael
He
Sonnen.
got wrestled to the ground, right?
Like Chael
Yes,
motherfucking Sonnen.
yes.
Yeah.
Hey
And
man,
Chael Sonnen couldn't do a damn thing to Fedor. He couldn't do anything to Fedor. So if you just look at the side of that bracket, like if you pull up his bracket and you pull up like the actual contenders, I mean, maybe Frank Mir, maybe I think Frank Mir was a test, but I mean, I don't know. In my personal opinion, I knew that Fedor wasn't gonna lose to Frank Mir. I just didn't see it. I just didn't see it. Like the people Fedor has lost to were always legit contenders. He lost to Dan Henderson. I mean, you could make a argument for Matt Metrione.
true.
You can make an argument for Matt Metrione that maybe Matt Metrione is not that good, but I mean, all the nerdy fight people seem to think Matt Metrione is very good, and Bellator seems to be investing a lot in Matt Metrione. So we can't say Matt Metrione, really, honestly. So to be honest, I mean, he's doing his thing against the people he's supposed to be doing his thing against. So I kind of knew he wasn't going to be Frank. I kind of knew Frank Mir was going to be him. So I don't know. You could almost make the argument that they kind of knew
Yeah.
that it would be Ryan Bader because I mean it was like Big Country. It's King Mo. King Mo could have done something. King Mo could have probably stopped. Nah,
If
actually
you had
no,
if you had some
no.
stamina,
Yeah, King Mo's weird. I
yeah,
don't
if you had
really.
stamina.
I haven't watched enough of King Mo's fights to give him a fair critique of his ability, so I'm not going to. I'm just gonna assume that you know.
Well, hey, I watched some of his fights. Stamina.
Ah,
I watched it, and that's not disrespectful. I'm just saying, like, stamina is what was wrong with Kimbo Slice and why he couldn't come to fruition. Stamina is what's wrong with a lot of guys that normally can't wrestle as well because that is a big part of being able to get off the mat.
yeah, stamina typically. I mean, every now and then you find someone who can actually,
Once they hit the mat, man.
yeah, every now and then. I mean, Rampage had his time where he was. It's just Rampage. Rampage is another one that probably needs to retire. It's just the thing about Rampage is that he hasn't won in a while. You know what I mean? So I
Yeah.
mean, he's a fan favorite, and that promotion is still trying to build this roster. So whatever. We'll keep Rampage. We'll leave him here. People will still show up and watch him get beat up. They're still kind of building their roster. Like that Aaron Pico kid was supposed to be a big deal until that Mexican dude knocked him the fuck out. Knocked him clean the fuck out. And that boy was getting rocked too.
Oh,
You could tell
bruh,
that
he
was
got
experience.
rocked
That was
so
experience.
bad and then got turned around. He returned the favor.
Bro, that
Oh,
was
I love.
experience, bro. He got caught and then
Oh,
he got back and then he's just like, I'm gonna draw this kid in. And he drew him in. He drew him in and they got to just throwing. And then he just knew and I could tell that he just knew if I just hit him clean, I don't think he could take one of these clean shots. Let's see what his chin can do. What? And I mean, that's unexperienced on Aaron Pico's part. Aaron Pico is probably, I mean, Aaron Pico, based upon his credentials and the people that are speaking for him, he's, he'll probably be good again. This is something he's going to learn. Not everyone
Yeah.
can do the whole, Max Holloway, hey, let's just meet it in the center of the ring and throw down. Like, not everyone can
Yeah,
do
I
that.
mean, like, look, it's something that I need that the and the and Bellator to do because they both do this. Um, Even matter of fact, Ryzen, the little Japanese thing, to an extent. Hey man, one thing they need to do me a favor and stop doing, stop pumping these young dudes up too early and putting them in there with these veterans, because these veterans have been mopping them up. Like Cowboy Cerrone with that little dude. Oh man, he's distracted. All I do is go to the gym and work out. I don't have a life. I just MMA is my life. Cowboy Cerrone, he just had a baby. He had a baby in the ring with him. I don't. This is what I do. Man, he went in there and got his ass whooped by Cowboy Cerrone. Cowboy
Well,
Cerrone got life, and he'll whoop your ass, man. Like, stop pumping these young boys up too early. And maybe this is just me being a John Jones fan. We'll see, but Anthony Smith may be on that list.
uh, to be honest with you, I mean, you may have a valid point. To be honest with you, you may have a valid point as far as Anthony Smith is concerned. If Anthony Smith is saying the same things, I mean, nah. Anthony Smith should be very cognizant of the fact that he's fighting, arguably
John
one of the
Jones.
best. Yeah, he's fighting
And,
John
and,
Jones.
and he is. I think he is. But I think also what people and what people have trouble accepting in MMA is that and I've been a fan. I've been a victim of being a fan of the moment too, because I did it with Ngannou. Like a couple of quick wins is gonna get you a title shot. You know, a couple quick wins, you're gonna get a title shot in MMA, especially in the UFC. And one of those wins is gonna be against a legend because it's basically what they do. They see you, a young dude, you have a good win, and they finna give you a legend, or they give you that same legend again. Like Chris Weidman was one that I can think of. You might as well say Henry Cejudo got two legends in a row, basically. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, because Benavidez was supposed to be a legend in a
yeah,
sense, and then of course he got to fight Mighty Mouse
yeah.
twice and beat him the second time.
And
So
so like they do this often. So Anthony Smith, instead of thinking that he himself and his fans are thinking he's one of the best MMA fighters in the world, bro, you just had two quick wins in the UFC, man. Look, you finna go up against a nigga that just beat Gustafson again. And we know that nigga ain't no joke, bro. That's Gustafson.
yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't know. I mean, like it's kind at this point, it's just hard to bet against John Jones. To be honest with you,
Yeah.
um, it's just not really a wise thing. I think Anthony Smith, if he's saying anything, I would hope that Anthony Smith is just saying that he's just focused on fighting John Jones, and maybe that's what he is. He's just focused on fighting John Jones, and hopefully that's just what's going on, and
Well, that's
hopefully
I
that's
mean
all that's going on. But
that's one thing that's one thing he said I saw on the MMA world that he spoke. He was talking about the results of the last test or whatnot. He was like, if you're hitting me up about this, don't. I know what I signed up for. So
yeah, yeah,
John's just sitting on the picogram or whatever it is, man. I'm not familiar with that level of science. This man got a Instagram of Ball in his system.
cool.
John Jones.
Oh well, yeah, I don't really know. I mean, so let me ask you about that then.
All right, then you go right ahead, man.
Is it true that they found more picograms in the system on the VADA test?
No, they found the same. They was expecting it to be a residual effect. They're expecting it to be of the same last sample that they had. Scientists
Let me
said,
ask you something. Let me ask you
yeah.
something. Are you sure?
Am I sure?
Yeah. Like,
From
is
what
that
I read,
okay? If
I'm
that's
sure
what you
based
read,
off what I've read. You know what
Okay,
I'm saying? I'm
that's
not
all.
sure based on anything else. Is John Jones taking supplements? Do I believe that? Maybe. Would that affect my fandom of John Jones? I'll say this.
No,
Barry Bonds is the greatest baseball player of all
no.
time. Barry Bonds
You didn't have to really
is
do all that.
amazing.
You didn't have to do all
Nah,
that.
man.
We know.
I'm,
We know.
I'm tripping.
I mean, it's all good, but whatever.
But
I was just
it's
wondering.
but and you mentioned what was it, Roy Nelson earlier? You said Big Country. You
Yeah.
mentioned Roy Nelson, man, and I saw a video of him the other day, and he posed a great question. What supplements are these guys taking? Like, where are they getting these supplements from? That's what I want to know. Like, if you're only taking this stuff right here, and you don't know how I got, like, let's see all these supplements. Like, where are they coming from? I would like to see more stuff like that. You know?
Um, I'll be honest with you. In my personal opinion, I feel that your boy is protected, and I feel that it's not. I think oftentimes in these situations, when you have a superstar, like say a John Jones,
Superstar.
um, the promotion is put in a very precarious position because it's like, okay, so what the fuck do we do now, right? And to be honest with you, we also have to think about the fact that this company is sold, right? The
Yeah.
Fertitas don't no longer own this company. So with this sold company, you have a situation where with a sold company, you have a situation where you have to produce. I mean,
Yeah.
$1 billion was given to was changed in hands, right? And then jobs were offered based upon the ability to produce. So even though you have $1 billion, some people want more money, and you want to continue to keep your job, also continue to keep your what's the word I'm looking for? Keep the appearance that you still know how to run the business. So when you have all of that, right? Sometimes when someone pulls a quote unquote bonehead move, and they end up with picograms in their system, well, you are in a position where you have to make difficult decisions, and sometimes difficult decisions means that you might have to just let someone skate away. It just is what it is. I mean, I'm just looking at it from the business perspective. Fuck my opinions of John Jones or what have you. And to make it clear for the fans, I'm not a John Jones hater. I'm a hater of John Jones fans.
Oh man.
I
Damn.
must make it clear, because as
Damn.
as a John Jones as John Jones, I mean, as a liker of fighters and a liker of black people, I have to like John Jones to some degree. It's just John Jones fans are annoying, just like any fan of any great,
Nah, you
a
don't like black people.
great any just like I'm gonna ignore that. Just
Nah,
like
you
any fan of any great athlete,
nah,
you
you
know,
racist, bro.
you have people who just believe that these people can, you already know these people can walk on water. It's the same thing that
He
happened
can't.
with
He
LeBron
can't.
James.
He
The
can't
same
walk
thing
on
that
water.
happened with what
He
happened
can't
with
walk on
LeBron
water.
James when
Oh
people were giving
God, Mark.
LeBron James
Money
too
Mark just
much
said he can't walk on water.
because he can't.
He
The
can't.
nigga,
You look.
if he
You
can
talking
walk on
about
water, if he can
John
walk
Jones
on
can't
water,
walk on water?
all right. Well, you're having a moment now, so I'm gonna let you diva out, and then whenever you're ready to have the podcast again, we'll do that again. So
All
let me
right,
know
man.
when you're done.
Hey, man, there's people out here talking about John Jones can't walk on water, man. I just
Mm-hmm.
can't stand for that, yo.
Uh huh.
Them the kind of fans you talking about, bro?
Uh huh.
Oh man, understood, man. I got you. I'm
You
one of.
eventually, I'm assuming you eventually tuck her out. So are you
I'm
done
one
now?
of them, man. I'm done, man. I'm
Oh, you
done.
tuckered out. Okay, cool.
I
All right.
look.
So,
I
anyways,
have. I have
oh no,
kicking.
no, you still got some more. Okay, go ahead, continue.
All right, man.
Oh, you're done. You're done. Okay, cool. Anyways, like I was saying, like I said. Anyways, moving on. When you have those